Today on Free Field Training, we are going to talk about EDC lights. One of the common questions I get is, what's a good EDC light under $100? Well, I'm going to do you one better than that. All of these lights are under 80 bucks. All of them have been very reliable for me, and all of them will do the job of a good EDC light, especially one that if you don't want a tail cap switch. All of these work entirely, both on, off, and UI, off of the head switch. I'm going to go over the pluses and minuses of each of them, their cost, and we're going to show you some shots of what they look like when you're using them. So we're going to go over the cost first. The ThruNite TC15 is about 60 bucks. I'll put links for all these down below. The Fenix RC11 costs about $80, and the Olight costs about $70. Obviously, you're going to be able to get better deals on these in different places, so please shop around when you're looking for these lights, but that's where the MSRPs start off at. So let's go straight to video so you know what you're looking at as far as power levels for these lights. The ThruNite TC15 is a little over 2,000 lumens. I think it's about 2,300 lumens. The Fenix RC11 is right at 1,000 lumens, and the Olight S2R Baton 2 is a little over 1,000 lumens. I want to say it's 1,100 or 1,200, somewhere in there. The ThruNite is going to be your brighter light, obviously. Let's show you some clips of it. So I put them up against a wall next to each other and on top of each other so you can see. The Olight S2R Baton 2 is the first one up. It lights up the wall really well. I'm about 60, 70 feet from that wall. More than enough for your everyday carry tasks. It kind of makes it sunlight over by the wall. The Fenix RC11 is next. You can see it also lights things up really well. But now we're going to take the Fenix RC11 and put it next to the ThruNite TC15. And you can see that the ThruNite TC15 completely eclipses the Fenix RC11. And it does about the same with the Olight. So you are talking a significant power increase for the ThruNite TC15. Let's look at them in comparison with the light output and their size. None of these are really large. They're all about palm size. Here is a representation so you can kind of see what they compare to. The largest one is a little smaller than my police model Spyderco. And the other lights are all within an inch of the ThruNite TC15. The big differences with these is the light output. The TC15 obviously puts out more, and their charging methods. Where the Fenix and the Olight use a proprietary magnet-on charging method. We'll take a look at those here. The Fenix uses this little magnetic clip. You clip it on there and plug this end into any USB, and it charges the light up through that, so there's no charge port. On the Olight, you have another little magnetic clip. It clips to the end of the light, and when it clips on, you get a little light on the end of it, just like on the Fenix. And the ThruNite has a USB charge port right there. So you just take the USB that's included, and you plug it in to the charge port, and you plug it into any USB outlet that provides power. Now, there's pluses and minuses to each of these systems. Generally speaking, when you're using just a USB cord, a standard USB cord, you could have an issue with water getting into this little charging port. But for your average person who's going to just throw this in their pocket, they're not out using it as a police officer or in the military or something in a very dirty, wet environment, that's probably not going to be an issue. I've never had an issue with a USB charging flashlight going bad from just using it as an EDC light. Now, the advantage to this is that if you lose the charge cord that came with it, you can use any other normal USB, plug it in, and charge it up. The magnetic base system, like the one for the Fenix and the one for the Olight here, are completely sealed. So theoretically, you get a waterproofness advantage out of that. Whether you're going to see that advantage or not would depend on your lifestyle. But the problem they create is, if you lose this little cord that came with the light, or this little cord that came with the light, and you don't own multiples of these lights to have spares, you can't charge it. So in order to be able to charge, let's say, your Olight or your Fenix in your car and in your house, you either have to take the cord with you everywhere you go, or buy multiple cords, or own multiples of the lights by these companies that charge by the same method with the same cord and have them in different places. So that's something to take into consideration. Now, all of these are fairly light. You'd be hard-pressed to find a weight difference between any two of them. None of them are going to weigh your pocket down any more than the other. Even this being the largest one, there really isn't a weight difference between it and the Fenix or it and the Olight. You have to put all the stuff that goes into the light somewhere, and so there's only so much material there. Now, the ThruNite will shine these down an alley. It throws a little better because it's putting a lot more light out, but the light heads are all about the same size. ThruNite. They all have various types of low battery warnings on them, and the operation of the lights is slightly different, but they all work through the UI on the head. Some of them are a long press to turn it on and then hold it to go through. Some of them are tap to turn on and taps to go through, but all of them are pretty easy to use as an EDC light. They're going to get you where you need to go. Look at the option that I'm most worried with my little EDC lights, and that's the mode most people use the most often is turbo for these. I mean, why else would you want a light that puts out 2,000 something lumens unless you were going to use them? How do you get to turbo mode with these lights, and can you get to turbo mode with each of these from any mode, including off? So we'll start with the ThruNite TC15. With the TC15, what you do is double click, and it goes straight to turbo. You can get it at any time, on or off. If you turn it on and you want to go straight to turbo, you can turn it to turbo. With the Olight, you get the same thing. You turn it on and double click at any time to go straight to turbo mode. The Fenix, though, is a little different. With the Fenix, you can turn it on, and at any time you can hold it and it'll go to strobe. It doesn't have a straight to turbo mode. This is also the one that you have to hold for half a second to turn on or off. So if instantaneous activation is a big deal to you, then the Fenix might not be your best option. Olight and the ThruNite are single-click instant activation. And they all have memory, so they're going to come back to the same mode you left them on when you last put the light down. All of these have overheat protection, which means depending on the light, you're going to have it step down in its light output when it's been on for too long. You're putting out an awful lot of light for very, very small lights. Small light heads only so much heat conduction. So when they run for too long, they're going to step down. So you're only going to get turbo mode for a couple minutes, but that's all of them. And they all have overheat protection, so you shouldn't have an issue where you turn one of them on turbo mode and it melts the light, which was an issue on very, very early lights of these types. That's my overview of the best head switch mounted EDC lights. That's the battle of the sub $100 EDC lights. If you want the very smallest light, Olight's got you covered. If you want a light that primarily is used straight to strobe, Fenix has you covered. And if you want the most light output you possibly can get and the use of a cable that you can get anywhere and is most convenient to charge, you want the ThruNite TC15. All the links for these are going to be down in the description. Feel free to leave questions or comments. If you own one of these lights or you own multiples of them, you like one more than the other one, leave that down in the comments below. Until next week, guys, be safe, take care of each other, and thanks for the questions. Hey, thanks for watching Free Field Training on YouTube. While you're here, why don't you go check out one of our other videos, or you can head on over to the Patreon and see how you can get your name put on the videos like these fine folks listed over here. There's also some exclusive content on Patreon that just shows you kind of behind the scenes like you're seeing now. We'll see you guys next time.